to episode 10 of the News That Broke Glass. I've got a new swanky GCW Planet Death t-shirt which arrived. Thanks GCW for that. Actually quicker than usual. But this is the 10th episode of this, and the channel's reached 600 subscribers, so I assume that's mainly due to that John Moxley, Nick Gage, RSP Spring Break video, but hey ho, thanks for all the support. Quite a few things to get through in this episode, but we'll get there in the end. First of all, I recorded bits of this last night and I thought, no, I'm going to re-record it tomorrow, because too many different things happened and I had to rewrite all the notes and everything. Hey ho, that's enough moaning about bullshit. Last night I watched the Kenny Johnson, Matt Tremont Life After Death documentary, and I thought it was fucking brilliant. Kenny Johnson always does good shit. Any sort of little documentary thing he does, he's got lots of stuff. It's all on his YouTube channel. I'll leave a link to the Tremont thing. All the stuff was great. Documentary was awesome, just sort of going through the sort of last Matt Tremont's little final tour, showing you ICW Deathmatch horror story when he had his final match against Only, showing you little backstage bits. It was showing you bits at Take Care, just the people it was interviewing and talking to. Atticus Kogar, Ricky Shane Page, Eddie Only, Alex Colon, Nolan Edwards. You forget how good these shows were, and the last extravaganza as well. Brilliant documentary, touching nearly tears in my eyes watching it, where Tremont was talking about how the pandemic came and all the kids and the students all just paid their tuition to keep the place running and stuff, and he was talking about Danny Havoc, rest in peace, Grant Berkland as well. It was just emotional when you think, you missed Danny Havoc. The only time I ever got to meet him, I never even got to see a match, was when he was at TOS 4. Walked past him and said, "Oh hi Danny," shook his hand, that was it. But yeah, it was great. A brilliant documentary, great. Obviously Tremont saying he'll probably come back and wrestle very, very sporadically. I assume he's obviously going to have to come back and fight the evil RSP. It was good to see RSP as well, the sort of backstage bits of him and Tremont, and when Tremont's doing his little speech in the ring, he's covered in blood and everything after the match, and RSP's watching. But it was great, fantastic. Go out of your way to watch it, because it was brilliant. And the shows that they covered, like I said, the Extravaganza, the ICW Deathmatch Horror Story, and GCW's Take Care, were all brilliant shows as well. Great, fucking great stuff. And this is now Wednesday. I'll need to check the date because my memory's shit. The 12th of May, and this will probably be up either on the 12th of May or the day after on the Thursday. But tomorrow, the Thursday, is Nick Gage's Dark Side of the Ring, which is going to be very interesting. I mean, Vice have already done deathmatch stuff. They did that thing for TOD, where they're pretty much like interviewing like DJ Hyde. I'm sure Nick Gage was at TOD 15, 14 maybe? 15 or 14. It was when Nick Gage came back for the TOD, when it was him, Connor Claxton, and DJ Hydra in a three-way, and that's the one where Jeff Cannonball's getting the Kenzen pulled out of his head, and he was in a match against Tremont, I think. So they've done ones, and they also did one with Casanova Valentine, but this is going to be probably the biggest one they've done. This is a real fucking spotlight on deathmatch wrestling and on Nick Gage, and I'm sure it was Schlack wrote like a comment on Facebook or something, saying that, and it's very, very true what he said, saying that like Nick Gage is one of the only people that they feature from Dark Side of the Ring who's actually like, he's not dead, he's not a drug addict, he's not like old and broken down and retired, he's not just spiraled down Dark Side of the Ring, he's went up, and he's through, I mean, he's actually like the sort of prime of his life, prime of his career, like one of the world champion of fucking one of the most popular independent companies on the planet. So it's going to be good for Nick Gage, it's going to be very good for GCW, and I assume that they're going to sort of move this sort of documentary thing into the Moxley Gage storyline that they had at Spring Break. Because as you've seen in the trailer that I'll show here, they're interviewing Moxley, they're interviewing Brett Lauderdale, they might interview DJ Hyde. I don't really know what his situation is with wrestling anymore, but it looks fucking good. It's going to cover things that a lot of deathmatch fans will know already. The John Moxley Nick Gage rivalry, I assume, when Nick got his fucking artery cut at TOD 8 and had to be airlifted out and died for like a couple of minutes and came back to life. And the bank robbery as well, which was big massive news. And Nick Gage, as I will say, my favourite 5 wrestlers of all time, and this has probably been the same since probably the last maybe 6-7 years, maybe even more than that. my top sort of 4 or 5 wrestlers has been, number 1's always been Nick Gage. Ever since I discovered deathmatch wrestling. Nick Gage, number 2, Takeda, 3, Kasai, 4, Danny Havoc, and 5, Matt Tremont. So it's really good, really happy. And I'll do on Saturday or Sunday this week, I'll do like a little, probably do like a little review of GCW Draft Day and the Nick Gage Dark Side of the Ring. And hopefully they don't fucking interview Jim Cornette. Fuck him. Now we'll move on to the GCW news and stuff. We've got, let's just first of all go through draft day things. Where is the picture of the card? I'm probably not going to watch draft day live, I'll probably watch it on the Sunday. I'm not really that interested, to be honest. I care about Nick Gage and AJ Gray, but as Alex Colon said on a podcast, there's probably not going to be any glass. So it's in Las Vegas. I like a lot of the guys on the card, but I'm just not really interested. This is a deathmatch channel for deathmatch shit, there's not really much on it. What have we got? We've got Dickinson's against Bad Dude Tito, that'll be alright. Leo Rush against Starboy, Janelle against Alley Cat, that looks pretty good. Effie against Dark Sheik, Jimmy Lloyd against Cartwheel. It's not my cup of tea. I'll watch it and I'll pay for it because I want to see Gage against AJ Gray. They should have that as a first round match in TOS 6, as I said last week. And that's segue into TOS 6. We've got first 2 fucking official entrants for the show, which is at June 5th at 3 PM at the fucking Showboat. Nolan Edward, who is having a fantastic year. Even when you saw in the Tremont documentary thing, like Nolan Edwards only, he said his first death match was on the same day as the spring break last year, so he's only been pretty much doing like death matches for like less than like a fucking year. So he's very, very fucking good. I mean, I'd like to see him win it, but I don't think he will. And the other entrant is Bam Sullivan of H2O fame, the inaugural and former Danny Havoc hardcore champion, and he's also in No Peace Underground. I like Bam Sullivan, he's a good guy. I mean, they might even put them together in the first round, but I assume that the finals are going to be Atticus Cogar against Alex Colon, and I want Atticus to win. He's my pick to win. Also saying, like, where's Alex Colon? He's not really been around since Planet Death. You know, he had his own fucking show, he's got his GCW Ultraviolent title. Where the fuck is he? Maybe he's busy, who fucking knows. And we've also got... My cat's fucking running around going mental. The Sunday show at 3 PM on June 6th at the Showboat is now called Zombie Walk. Interesting name. Maybe it'll be like all the fans will be like fucking zombies after all the drinking and fucking drugs and stuff, and all the wrestlers from all the fucking abuse will take it TOS. We've got a couple announcements for that. Janela's going to be against Ninja Mac, that'll be fucking good. And the Grim Reaper's appearing, and Gage is on the poster, so I assume Gage will be there anyway. Finally, for GCW stuff, we have 3 entrants for the Deathmatch Hall of Fame, which is after TOS 6 on the 5th at 9 PM, which is also available on Fight. We've got 3 entrants. We've got Gene, who's the Weapon Master, who people know from CZW days to GCW to H2O to ICW. I think he's retired from doing it now. He built the weapons, brings the weapons out, all the sort of contraptions and barbed wire and light tubes. He's been a part of these companies in the deathmatch scene for a very, very, very long time, and very, very good at what he does. So he highly, highly deserves it. Also Supreme, RIP Supreme is in it. And I mean, my even first, in like 2003, I think was the first time I ever saw sort of Supreme, because I got into death matches in about 2002, maybe tail end of 2001, when my dad got me a VHS tape of random matches from CZW and IWA Mid-South, stuff like Pondo and Mitch Page and Zandig against Wife Beater and things like that. But I remember reading Power Slam magazine, for anybody in the UK that remembers Power Slam magazine, and there was like, they had a little section of an XPW show, and it was the first time I saw Supreme, and he was against Alter Boy Luke in like a sort of light tube thing at the Viking Hall or CZW Arena or whatever it's called these days. And I remember Supreme, and then as I got more into deathmatch wrestling, I thought he's really fucking good. And then obviously in his later on his career, he fought Matt Tremont in GCW and stuff, and he's got that tournament for his hardcore title. But rest in peace to Supreme. And finally, the final entrance so far is Sick Nick fucking Mondo, legend around the world, the Zandig roof bump, the Weed Whacker shot TOD1, the Zandig thing at TOD2, him coming back at that CCW. I remember that Cage of Death when he came back down for the big tag match thing and he kicked Matt Tremont off the thing. He's sitting at Mondo, he's a fucking legend. Very highly deserved. Just he's the sort of thing where there's these names from the past, Zandig, Wife Beater, Lobo, and people like Mondo that are just very, very crucial in making death matches like what it is today. So, highly deserved for all three of those guys. Now, we move on to ICW No Holds Barred, which is basically just announced a block of shows that they're going to do for the rest of like the sort of summer. It's going to be the summer of fucking blood is what I wrote down here. We've got Boardwalk Buds on June 25th, June 26th, June 27th at the fucking Showboat Bourbon Room in Atlantic fucking City. We've got some new matches announced for these shows. Also, Casanova Valentine is announced another entrant for battle and death and violence for the three shows. But June 25th, which is Pit Fighter X7, 8 PM, we now have Dan Maff against Schlack, which is a fucking dream match. It's going to be fucking sick fucking shit. Can't wait to see that. June 26th, we have got the Pit in the afternoon, which is free with a general admission ticket to Boardwalk Buds, which is going to be in the Sandlot where they've had TOS and NGI 5 last year, the sort of like parking lot bit of the Showboat. If we're not getting anything announced for that, I doubt they'll announce anything. It's a free show, but yeah, it'd be pretty good, whatever happens. But at night time, at 8 PM in the Bourbon Room on the 26th is NHB 13, which is looking fucking awesome so far. We've now got a new match announced for that, which is Akira is going to be coming back. Good for him coming back after sort of scared with like COVID and he didn't have anything, fucked up his Mania week. Shame for him. He's going to be coming back to fight the returning Homicide. So that's going to be fucking awesome. First time meeting, I think, between the two. And finally, on June the 27th for PFX 8 PM, Bourbon Room, we now have another match announced for that. Nolan Edward is fighting the Grim fucking Reefer. So, I mean, these shows are just heating up to be fucking awesome. I cannot wait to watch them on IWTV. I wish I was there live. And then we move on to July 3rd and 4th, Independence Day. The ICW have announced they're going to be running the 3rd and 4th in New Jersey. So where's that going to be? Maybe it's going to be in that parking lot thing where they had NHB 2. Maybe it's going to be in the Field of Fear. Maybe it's going to be in the Bloodshed. Who knows? It's going to be in New Jersey. It could be somewhere completely different and new. Then we have got July 9th and 10th, which we know is in Indianapolis, Indiana, at the Marion County Fairgrounds and Event Centre. Don't forget the Event Centre. Both these shows are going to be no holds barred shows with the chains, both at 8 PM. And we've got another fighter announced for the chains, which is Aaron Williams of IWA Mid-South fame. He's fucking good. And we've also got a match which is going to be Sick Boy from Zona 23 versus Schlack. That'll be a fucking bloodbath. And also in Indianapolis that weekend is going to be covered in fucking blood and glass. On the afternoon of the 10th, and so NHB, the Indianapolis shows for NHB are July 9th and 10th, but in the afternoon of the 10th and 11th at the Marion County Fairgrounds and Event Centre, don't forget the Event Centre, we have AWR, which is Asylum Wrestling Revolution, which I've not covered on the show before. They are hosting their second Asylum Deathmatch tournament. And the last thing of the tournament, the final was won by Dale Patricks as he beat Corporal Robinson. But this is tournament number 2, and I have the entrance here for this. So, I mean, this is what I mean. The only thing with running all these shows, there's going to be another show as well on the Sunday. While running all these shows with all this stuff, I mean, hopefully no one gets injured and everything's okay and everybody's fine. But you know, just all this blood and bloodshed all on the same weekend. It's fucking sick. It's good for us deathmatch fans. So we have the entrance. We've got 14. I'm sure the tournament 2 years ago had 15 people in it. So I think this is the final. This is the lineup. We've got Josh Crane, Raven Havoc, Akira, Mickey Knuckles, Neil fucking Diamond Cutter, Otis Kogar, Pondo. Pondo might still be injured because he's not in Masters of Pain anymore. So I've got a question mark over Pondo. And this is, you know, start of July. So who knows about that? Nolan Edward. He's fucking everywhere, that guy. Aiden Blackheart. Hopefully we'll get to Aiden Blackheart in the chains as well. And hopefully we'll get to see a lot of these guys in ICW. Dale Patricks, the former winner of the last tournament. JJ Escobar is a fucking madman. Sick Boy from the Zona 23. Casanova Valentine. And Demonus, Demonio Demus, who's another Mexican guy from Zona 23 in the junkyard. Sorry if I get his name wrong, I'm from Scotland and I can't pronounce anything. Certainly not until I've had a drink. And we've also got 2 first round matches for this tournament, which is Mickey Knuckles against Casanova Valentine. That'll be fucking violent. And a boards of bullshit match. And the other first round match we have got is a backyard fucking death match, whatever that entails, between Patrick's and JJ Escobar. So JJ Escobar's gonna fucking probably kill himself for this shit. And moving on, just before we get back to the ICW stuff, this is in the same weekend. This is the Sunday, 8 PM on the 11th of July. Maybe the same place at the Marion County Fairgrounds and Event Centre in Indianapolis, Indiana. Is No Peace Underground are running as well. So not only have you got a deathmatch tournament, you've got 2 NHB shows and the No Peace Underground show, all in the same 3 days. They are hosting their show called Asmodeus. We don't have any other information for it, but I assume it's going to be a lot of the same guys that are going to be at these shows. So mental. Indiana is going to be covered in blood and fucking glass. Now, we move back to ICW Knowles Bard as the Summer of Blood continues. In August 6th and 7th in New Jersey. Is it the Field of Fear? Is it that place in Atlantic City? Is it in the Bloodshed? Is it somewhere new? Who knows? But they are hosting Deathmatch Circus Part 2 is going to be back. And obviously last year we had all the bullshit with the rain, and they were going to hold it outside, and then they were going to hold it was going to be a 2-day thing. There was all this rain. They had the first pit. They had it in the Bloodshed for the first time, and then they held night 1 and night 2 on the same day after, one in the Bloodshed and the second one at night. Obviously the fans have been knackered. They want to hold it 2 days this time, so hopefully it doesn't fucking rain. That'll be fucking cool. Deathmatch Circus. Fucking great. Some of my favourite events from last year. And now we have August 13th and 14th in San Antonio, Texas, as been said before. The 13th date was going to be the pit portion of the 2 days, and it was going to be at the Heavy Metal studio thing. And as I was watching, this was a match that Ruben Steele had with a young gentleman whose name I forget, I'll put it up. They had a really good death match. It was sort of with light tubes, panes of glass, just boards in the ring, like no mat, no canvas. And but the area that they had, it was very, very small and not a lot of fans in there. It's in like a sort of like a mall complex. So to have more fans, they've changed the pit venue. Has been changed to the 502 Bar, which is on 502 Embassy Oaks in San Antonio, Texas. So they've got more space for fans. But the day after is on the 14th is still the same venue, and we've got one entrant announced for these days, and it is Masada, which is great for Masada. I mean, everybody wants to see Masada in the chains for a long time, but obviously it means now they're in Texas, up to fucking fly him in. So good fucking times. Maybe he'll fight Ruben Steele. I assume if they're both from Texas, that match will have happened. But Masada's there, so that's fucking awesome. And finally, for ICW Knowles Bard news, they are returning in the fall to the White Eagle Hall in New Jersey, which is the building that they had the very first ever NHB show at, which had Gage against Tessa Blanchard, Ryan against John Murdoch for the first time, and Necro against Schlag. So NHB, Summer of Blood, it's going to be violent, it's going to be fucking great. I wish I could make it to these shows, but now I'm back at work, so hopefully they can come to the UK before the year is out, or I'll be 100% there next year. Now, this weekend, this is what I would be watching, because I'll probably not watch Draft Day. If this was on live on Fight or IWTV, I would have paid for it and watched it. At the Axel Rock Memorial Hall, May 14th and 15th is Pro Wrestling Trainwreck Southern fucking Sickness Cup. And I've got all the first round matches here on my phone, because there's a lot of stipulations and there's 24 people. So it's pretty fucking mental. So here we go. Where are we? So, no, that's not it. Right, so we've got the first round matches. We have got an Earn Your Spot 4-way, fans bring the weapons, Satujin, Otis Kogar, Insane, and TBA, sorry. I think it might be Herzog who's in that. It's not been announced on the page. Anyway, first round match, hack and slash death match, barbed wire bats, gusset plates, gusset plate bats, boards, kitchen knife boards, Casanova Valentine versus Reed Bentley, that'll be fucking sick. First round match, 10,000 thumbtacks and thumbtack weapons. Louis Ramos against Bam Sullivan. Louis Ramos is going to bleed buckets as always. I assume Bam will beat him. First round match, carpet strip contraptions, cinder blocks and cup can boards. The Bev, good to see the Bev, against Neil Diamond Cutter. Hopefully Neil will win. I don't know, I kind of like, well, Neil will win, hopefully. He's one of my picks to win the whole thing. First round match, ladders, fuckery, Alex Ocean against Trainwreck. You see Trainwreck, who's from No Peace Underground, getting moved about. Alex Ocean as well. Very, very underrated, love Alex Ocean. Another first round match, Ritual Deathmatch. Light tube pentagrams, lit candles, chains and barbed wire corners. Ruben fucking Steel against Akira, which is a rematch of NHB 10, which is a really good match. Ruben Steel also replaced Akira in the Battle of the Tough Guys tournament. We've got first round, first time ever, swing for the fences deathmatch, bats, water jugs and more. Nolan Edward against the Carver of Cutters, who's the guy with the mask who I've still not seen wrestle. And moving on to the other first round match, it's got Unlucky Spa, Hot Coals, Acupuncture Needles, must staple $7 bills to the opponent's foot to win. Fucking hell. Jimmy Chondo against Josh Crane. Those two always seem to do barefoot matches. Sick fucks. Another first round match, we have got Kevin Giza against Orton Vite in a Tokyo Death Towers, which is the big massive light tube fucking towers. First round match, we have got Don't Change the Channel Deathmatch, which is TV's light tube contraptions. JJ Escobar, the man who's insane, is against Eric Ryan. Eric Ryan's going to kill that man. And a final first round match, House of Pain deathmatch. Mirrors line the ropes. Hopefully they're fucking not the fucking mirrors that cut that guy's fucking shoulder. Jesus Christ. Panes of glass in the corners. Barbed wire nets outside. John Wayne Murdoch against Jake fucking Christ. So that is our first round things, and that's all on day one. Day two, we have three-way dance elimination matches and one singles matches. So I've got the stipulations for these matches here. This is for day two. So the first three-way is a Big in Japan death match, Kenzans, gusset plates, light tubes, and light tube fans. Fucking hell. Three-way number two is a bar rescue death match, and for anybody who's not familiar with bar rescue, it is an American pile of shit TV show, trash TV. It's like Gordon Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares, but it's a guy called John Taffer, who's a big American guy, who just goes into pubs and bars who are run down and shit, and just shouts at people and screams at them and says he's going to shut them down. It's entertaining. I like bar rescue. I like crap TV though. So beer bottle top weapons and broken glass pits. They should use cut can boards for that too. Three-way number three. This is going to sting deathmatch. Dry ice pits, lemon juice, salt and rubbing alcohol. I assume they're all pits. Rubbing alcohol is a very old school IWA stipulation. JC must be learning a lot from his dad. And the final single match is Built for Destruction deathmatch. Mini beds of nails, saw boards, light tube and barbed wire drywall, and loose building tools, saws and hammers and all sorts of fucking shit. Extractor knives maybe, who knows. And the final is going to be a four-way elimination match, which is, I think it's Big Vic Philpott, was a IWA fan, deathmatch fan who died recently, so rest in peace to him. The final match is dedicated to him, so it's Big Vic's glass jungle match. Who knows what that's going to be, just a cage of glass or light tubes or whatever. So four ways going to be elimination final. My picks be the final four or my final five people who I think are going to go far. Neil Diamond Cutter, John Wayne Murdoch, Ruben Steele, Nolan Edward and Satu Jin. I think that could be possibly those 4 or 5 guys in the final 4 anyway. Hopefully, I want Neil to win or Ruben Steele to win, but it could be any of those guys. Anyway, that is Pro Wrestling Trainwreck. After the show, which will probably take a week or 2 to be out in SmartMark, I'll make a music video thing and I'll finally do a review of it. Now into some more American deathmatch news. IWA East Coast, Masters of Pain, which is on June 12th. Pondo has now said it's going to be on IWTV 1 week later. So, what? On the 19th, 20th on IWTV, so only got to wait a week for that, which I wish they were just doing it live and streaming it live, but what are you going to do? And also we've got 12 entrants announced for IWA Mid-South's King of the fucking Death Matches, which is going to be July 30th and 31st at Axel Memorial Hall. We've got, so these are the 12, RSP, Shane Mercer, Schlack, Insane Lane, who's having a career like resurgence just now, Eric Ryan, Neil Diamond Cutter, John Wayne Murdoch, Orton Vite, Atticus Kogar, Masada, Aero Boys back, and Mance Warner. So that's 12 people so far, and I think Ian said on Facebook that that's only half the field. So they're probably going to have fucking 24 guys and another 24-man deathmatch tournament. 2021 is the summer of fucking violence. It's fucking, there's so much deathmatch tournaments and shit. It's awesome, it's great. Raven Havoc announced Unholy Warfare 4, which is going to be on August 21st in North Carolina. He's not said what building or whatever, but the first two Unholy Warfares were tournaments, and the last one was a sort of deathmatch show. So who knows what this is going to be, but that'll be interesting. I'll be watching that. And another company that I've not mentioned before on the show is Pro Wrestling Georgia, are hosting a show called Bloody Roots, which is going to be at the Landmark Arena in Cornelia, Georgia on June 19th. And the main event for the show is going to be Tank with the Rev against Insane Lane in a no-rope barbed wire match. So you bring Tank and Insane Lane to the chains and the pit every fucking time. Love both those guys. Tank's one of my favourite fucking wrestlers. Good to see both these guys, not just Insane Lane, but Tank as well, having a career resurgence. And I want to see the Rev everywhere. Put them on commentary everywhere too. And we've also got other matches for this show. We've got Horror Movie Deathmatch, whatever that entails. Brad Cash against Danny Only. And we've also got a man I've never heard of called Tyler Graves, who's having a barefoot deathmatch challenge. Lots of barefoot deathmatches. Sick fucks. And we will move on to UK news with TNT Extreme. We've got the final entrant for that four-way for the TNT Extreme Championship, which is going to be going off big time June 26th at the Hangar 34 in Liverpool, which is Clint Margera, who is a deathmatch legend in the UK. He's been to TOD, I can't remember which year, but that's going to be an interesting four-way. Clint Margera, Big Fucking Joe, Stevie Boy and Jack Jester. I'm possibly going to get down to Liverpool to see that show if there's still tickets available. We will see. And TNT have also announced a women's deathmatch tournament. Not got a date or anything yet. The show's going to be called Total Carnage. So sick fucking shit. And we move all the way to the other side of the world, in Australia, for Deathmatch Down Under. I'm annoyed that their Deathmatch Down Under world title, which looks fucking cool, is a 60-man tournament over 2 days. May 21st, May 22nd. There's like no really like death matches. It's just like singles matches, just normal matches. It's Deathmatch Down Under. I would expect there to be a deathmatch tournament for their Deathmatch Down Under title, but what do I know? Anyway, there's going to be some death matches in the shows, thank fuck. Night 1, we have a 6 and out tag team death match, whatever that means. Maybe Eliminator. Guido, Damien Rivers and York are going to be fighting Callan, Butcher, Mad Dog and Vixen. That'll be fucking sick. And then on night 2, we have got, on the 22nd, we've got a San Jose Glass Crush death match. Now what that is panes of glass, circuit boards, and Valencia oranges, which I assume are very, very sour and bad for stinging in people's cuts. And it's going to be the Ugwa Total Violence Championship, which is held by Guido, and he's going to be defending it against Callan Butcher, so that'll be a violent, sick shit. I was hoping that the whole thing would all be deathmatch related, but hey ho, get 2 decent matches at least. And we finally move on to Japan. Onita is bringing back FMW. He's got a financial backer, it seems, and he is bringing back FMW, but it's not the old FMW, it's FMWE. And the E stands for Explosion. Their first show is going to be on Independence Day this year, July 4th, and there's plans to broadcast it live worldwide. Whatever that means, who fucking knows. I'll find out more information on that, but there's also been another announcement for it, and he said that this is going to be the main big match for this show on July 4th, a Hell Death Match. So, 2 sides of the ring will feature electrified barbed wire ropes, fuck yeah, with a total of 9 mine explosions outside the ring, 2 electrified barbed wire bats, and the debut of an electrified barbed wire table in the ring. Fucking love Onita, it's going to be fucking sick shit. Plus, hopefully, we're going to get some other guys from maybe Freedoms, maybe Big Japan, depending on their contracts and stuff, over in Onita's company for more paydays for them. And also, last week I said that BJW wasn't running any shows, but apparently this must just be in Tokyo, this state of emergency thing, because they were running in Miyagi and Hokkaido, Japan. No Deathmatch Survivor stuff, but a lot of about 4 or 5 death matches, so we'll just go through them quickly. This is from the 3rd to the 5th of May, these shows happened. We did 8-man tag team light tube deathmatch. Kobayashi, Numazawa, Hoshino and Ito beat Drew Parker, Sakamoto, Ishikawa and Miyamoto. Then in one of the other matches we had a 3-board deathmatch. Miyamoto beat Ishikawa. We had a couple more death matches over these shows. These are all just basically the guys that are in the Deathmatch Survivor, but it's not Deathmatch Survivor. I assume maybe they're waiting to go back to Tokyo to do that. We did another G-Shock deathmatch. Kobayashi, Drew Parker and Katanami beat Hyodo, Hoshino and Ito. Then we did another light tube deathmatch. Ito and Miyamoto beat Drew Parker and Katanami. I'm always saying Katanami's name wrong. K-A-T-M-I-T-A-N-I. I'm from Scotland, I don't fucking know. Who knows? And then finally we had a G-Shock deathmatch with Ishikawa and Numazawa beating Hoshino and Hoaido. So, Japan apparently can run shows, just probably not in Tokyo for the state of emergency. But anyway, that is all of the news for this week. And like I said, on Saturday or Sunday I will be going over draft day of what I watch of it and the Nick Gage Dark Side of the Ring. So support Deathmatch Wrestling, and as we say in this channel, no deathmatch, no life. Thank you for watching episode 10 of the news that broke glass.